Shamaya, you did it.
STL Music.
Is that welcome back to the show. So listen up, we back in the game. Sweep the league, we got the flame. Motivated to the fullest every single day. We wake up, get it in every way. Right for the true and the global inspiration. Talk this sports and top news, no hesitation. Sweep the league is back. We always coming back, that's a fact. Wanna tell them that STL Music, mama, we did it, where we at? Coach Jill in the house with the flow so tight. Every rocks, that's we unite. Yeah, the best show, Monday through Friday. If this ain't different, they lying. We got the energy. When I say sweep, you say the league. Sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league, sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. Sweep the league. San Antonio, let's go.
Hey, it's Rain Fernandez, and you're watching Sweep the League. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and Facebook at Rain Fernandez, RAYNE Fernandez.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League TV. Follow me on Instagram at official Sherilyn for more content.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweep the League Radio.
Sweep the league TV where legends collide. If the Cowboys fall short, we'll still ride the tide. Like Jordan in the clutch or Brady's last play. We bring the fire, keeping fans in the fray. Coach Gio and Marie calling the shots. With Derek Coventry, Hall of Fame thoughts. So hit that subscribe, don't sit on the bench. Get in the game, every highlight's intense. The live stream's on till your friends don't delay. Like Kobe in the fourth, we're here to play. Sweep the League TV, where greatness resides. From the blogs, epic drives, till the Halls on the rise. We're all in on sports, NBA, CFB, and more for fans. By fans, it's the show you'll adore.
It stunk. Every bit of it stunk. The skills competition stunk, where now we have the youngest, maybe the newest face of the league, cheating. Like, to try to win a skills competition, we decided the San Antonio duo of Wembanyama Mama and Chris Paul, we're going to cheat to try to win. In the dunk contest, there were 10 consecutive missed dunks from two guys I've never heard of, and I love the NBA. The three-point shootout. Not a single guy made a whole rack of balls the entire damn thing. And every time Kevin Hart started to talk, which was the entire damn show, I said, a clickety-clack. It was a 3-hour show, and I ended up with 27 minutes of actual basketball being played. What a train wreck.
And as you can tell, the NBA All-Star Weekend definitely was not a very popular choice amongst a lot of people out there. Rudy Composiner, as my hair is acting up weirder right now. Coming to you from the Sweep the League studios here in Seguin/San Antonio, Texas. The MCS General Contracting Studios as well. Shout out to MCS General Contracting out there. Lehan the boys taking care of you every day. Not during the cold weather. They're thinking can't really do much in cold weather as we're getting this week in San Antonio, but they will take care of you regardless of anything that you need done. That's MCS General Contracting, proud sponsors of Sweep the League. Yeah, man, the Tuesday night delight edition of Sweep the League, and not so much to be delightful after this weekend's NBA All-Star Weekend. I mean, it's been trash for a while. You see a lot of people talking a whole bunch of nonsense. Now, some of it, yeah, I can get behind. Majority of it, I can get behind. You know, some of it, I actually kind of applaud the NBA a little bit for trying. I mean, you got to kind of give them a little bit ahead, a little bit of a pat on the back for trying. I mean, it is what it is, guys. We're going to get into NBA All-Star talk. Also, John Morant on the trade block. What's the reason behind it? Everybody points to the Luka trade. Everybody points how Dallas did it. And you know what? Could it be a reason why? Yeah, there's reasons behind it. We're going to get into the Ja Morant trade tonight. Derek's going to be off tonight. I'm going to see if Coach Gio's going to be here. If not, it'll be myself here on Sweep the League, the Tuesday Night Delight Edition. Appreciate everybody joining us in here. Got Tim Gonzalez here. Obviously, he's a Blue Devils fan. Says Tar Heels still suck. They really do suck this year. All-Star game was boring. We're getting into that in a minute here. All-Star weekend was stupid and lame as hell. Appreciate Leha for being in here. We're going to get into that big time. How many more games did the Spurs win? Leha, we're actually going to go over that later on in the show. Part of the Locked On Spurs segment that we've got going since I was on the Locked On Spurs show today with Jeff Garcia. We're going to go over that as well as the KD rumors that you were hearing over All-Star weekend as well. Ray Dean, Lakers 30 more wins in the playoffs. Told you it'd be good. Just need a center, and they will get Ja. We're going to get into that here. We're going to get into that. I don't know if they're going to necessarily get Ja Morant, but we'll get into that. I promised you. And you know what? I think the Lakers do make at least the play-in minimum. I think the center position is going to be a very, very trying part for this Lakers. So we'll see if that actually bites them in the butt here. But nonetheless, yeah, we got to get into that damn All-Star weekend. What crap it was. So the NBA had their annual All-Star Weekend Slam Dunk Competition Skills Challenge. Obviously, Spurs fans were disappointed on the demonstration that they saw from Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama. Saw the Rising Stars game. You also saw the three-point shootout, slam dunk contest, and you had the actual 4-team tournament that was All-Star Sunday. Breaking it all down. Overall, the weekend, I'm just going to probably say what? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome, it was a very, very limp 4, maybe 3 on that. Some exciting parts. Stephon Castle in the slam dunk contest. We'll get into that in a little bit because, yeah, props definitely need to be eliminated 100%. Not only props, but I mean, I understand the cars, I understand that, but props as in jumping over other players. I don't mind you doing it one time, but it gets kind of old. So I think that, needs to be considered. Just go out there, do not necessarily NBA dunks, but I mean, when you're playing an actual game, you can go do a 360, you can do a 180, you can do whatever you want. You can do a little bit between the legs during the game. If you're on a fast break, that's in-game dunks right there. I want to see more of that crap. I don't want to see any more of bringing out cars. You know what? Let's roll in an airplane, a 747, see if you can jump over that. I don't want to see nothing like that anymore. We'll get more into that here in a little bit for the slam dunk contest. 3-point shootout, obviously won by Tyler Hero. Not many people were expecting Tyler Hero to win the 3-point shootout unless you were a Miami Heat fan. That was kind of a surprise there, nonetheless. And then, of course, you saw Stephon Castle win the MVP of the Rising Stars game. Very, very bright future for Stephon Castle. We're going to get into that as well. But let's start with the skills competition. So Victor and Chris decided to not necessarily cheat the system. They found a loophole, and apparently the loophole gets you disqualified. Well, I've always said, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, right? Tom Brady, you know what I'm talking about there. You're there to compete. Flat out, you're there to compete 100%. They've invited you over to All-Star Weekend, Chris Paul being the eldest, Victor being the youngest, and you want to win. You want to win, but it just seems like Chris always tends to try to find the loophole. Case in point, he was the president of the Players Association. There was a game, I want to say he was in Oklahoma City playing for the Thunder or part of the Rockets, but I remember the game was in Oklahoma City where a player checked into the game. He didn't have his shirt tucked in. Chris pointed it out to the referees. That's a technical foul. It's part of the rule book. I get that. Chris Paul finds every little advantage he can, which, to be honest, it's not wrong. You want to try to gain the advantage in any way you can, any way possible if it's within the rules. Now, Had they asked ahead of time, I don't know. I wasn't in the locker room. I don't have sources everywhere, so I'm not in the locker room. But had they asked ahead of time, the NBA cleared it, then okay. I mean, has to fall back on the NBA. Maybe they didn't understand what they were talking about or what they were planning to do, but nonetheless, at the end of the day, not even attempting shots, just throwing them up there as if you were trying to attempt them just to get the fastest time. Yeah, I mean, it's bad enough already that All Star Weekend sucks with a capital S, capital U, capital C C C C C C C K S. It just sucks like bad. I get that already. To see that going on didn't really help its case at all. Didn't really help the cause. Probably pissed off a lot more people than anybody was expecting. It did piss off a lot of people in San Antonio. You wanted to see Wemby, you wanted to see Chris Paul go out there, give it their all, and hopefully maybe win. So it's kind of a bumming night to start off All Star Saturday night. The Rising Stars game. I mean that's really probably the only event that I watched a whole lot of was the Rising Stars. I love the rookies. I love watching the future generation, the future NBA stars. These guys are going to be NBA All-Stars here. You're talking, Stephon Castle, you're talking Amen Thompson. You've got a lot of these kids that are going to be future All-Stars and multi-time All-Stars. I love watching them play. It's always a good show. It really always is. They do compete out there. So I really feel like, yeah, the Rising Stars game, probably the best in the business, 100%. Moving on over to the 3-point contest. It's 3-point shooting. I mean, you get the best 3-point shooters out there. They compete, and may the best man win. Dame was trying to go for a three-peat. Couldn't quite get it. Put a little Kansas City Chiefs, mojo in there. Couldn't get the three-peat done. Tyler Hero wins. 3-point contest. You really can't change much on that. I mean, they added a couple of balls where it's an automatic 3-point. If you make it, the green ball, if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember back in the day, it was a Sprite ball. I don't know what it is now, but I mean, you make that, it's 3 points. That's about the only change they made. They give you one rack where every ball is worth 2 points. I mean, they kind of made it fun, but again, shooting. Then you go to the dunk contest. Stephon Castle, clear-cut winner. If you're talking about natural dunks, clear-cut winner. Didn't use a prop. He had to use a guy to pass them the ball. Obviously, some of the dunks required it. But his first dunk got the gate. The little windmill that he did. Amazing. Had the feel of Vince Carter from back in the day when he was in the dunk contest with Trace McGrady over in Oakland. I think it was Steve Francis was in that dunk contest as well. Came out strong. Loved it. Screwed on the scores. I mean, you got a YouTuber giving scores away. I don't like that. I don't like the NBA tries to insert social media influencers as judges or something like that. It's like the whole celebrity game. I don't really care about celebrity game. Didn't bother me. Back in the day when baseball had their celebrity game, it was legit celebrities. It was old timers that played softball. Then you've got the actual celebrities and musicians playing. Now it's nothing but YouTubers, and I don't even know half these people. So I'm not even going to get into the celebrity stuff. But you have a celebrity judge, you have a YouTube judge. I have no idea who this guy is. They screwed Stephon out of a few points. Obviously, could have had a 50. Came out very strong. Buzelis and the other guy that was dunking. I mean, if Montes Buzelis was able to hit that first dunk, that would have been impressive. That would have been really, really impressive. That was a really good dunk. Really damn good dunk. But when you have Mac McClung, 2-time winner, going in for the three-peat, got it. Jumping over a car, saw Blake Griffin do it. I mean, yeah, Blake did it, wasn't even a windmill. It was just kind of a one-handed dunk over the car. Matt, reverse dunk over the car. I mean, cool, impressive. Didn't get me off my couch. Didn't excite me. Didn't, there was no pants rigor mortis or anything like that. There was nothing. Everything that McClung did was It was prop based, and I can't ride with that if it's prop based. A dunk contest is a dunk contest. You know, when you're going back in the day when guys like Orlando Woolridge, when he was dunking 2 balls with the Chicago Bulls in the dunk contest, Dominique Wilkins with the windmill, the tomahawk windmill slam off the side, all the way to dunkers like, I mean, people consider Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon the best dunk contest of all time. I'm not going to argue with you on that, but go YouTube, go look up Desmond Mason versus Jason Richardson. That dunk contest is balls. It's hella good. Really, really good. For those of you that don't remember it, go look it up. Desmond Mason versus Jason Richardson. That was an iconic dunk contest as well. That's what I want to see more of. No, not the props. And you know what? Aaron Gordon could have said, well, he had a guy on a hoverboard. He had a mascot on a hoverboard. Yeah. But he didn't jump over the mascot on the hoverboard. You know, when he was spinning around, doing the windmill, the Karl Malone. He did use it, but when he used the mascot to jump over him, it was a sit. He was sitting in there under the legs. That is something that, okay, you've got a prop to do that on. That's impressive. You want to jump over a car? Okay, cool. You can do that. Give me guys like Jordan Kilgannon. You know who that is? No? Go look him up. Jordan Kilgannon. That is a natural dunker right there. Some of the dunks that he does, oh my God. Look up when he dunked in front of Gary Payton. Payton had no idea who he was. Not at all. Go look him up. Jordan Kilgannon, last All-Star Game broadcast on TNT. That is true. Reggie Miller is a part of NBC's team. That's right. Castle is that bad mofo. Castle definitely. We're going to get into Stephon and our Spurs talk here in a little bit. I promise you, Leha. Why did LeBron give another player his All-Star weekend when he knew he was injured? That's another really we're going to get into. Whoever said McClung challenged Vince for greatest dunker is dumbass and disrespect, man. McClung is not challenging Vince Carter as the greatest dunker of all time in a slam dunk contest. I mean, there's absolutely no comparison when it comes to that. Vince didn't use a prop. Desmond Mason, from my understanding, didn't use props. Jason Richardson, no. Even Aaron Gordon, he used a prop as a mascot, but you have never seen what he did before, and you have never seen it after. So, I mean, yeah. McClung being compared to Vince, no. It's terrible. Super terrible. McGrady is a hater too. Yeah, McGrady is a hater. He's mad. He's mad because of the Spurs years. That's why. He copied Blake. He copied Aaron Gordon. Dude is original as hell. Yep, basically, yeah. I believe it was 2001 or 2002. That was the best dunk. Yeah, I would say that. He's basically Carrot Top at this point. Shout out to John G in the chat there. That is very, very true. Mac McClung is the Carrot Top of the slam dunk contest. I think, Carrot Top of the slam dunk contest. That's perfect right there. Perfect, man. But going back to it, I mean, McClung being compared to Vince Carter as the greatest dunker of all time. That's horrible. That is media trying to sell you on how good Mac McClung is. Now, don't get me wrong. The dunks are impressive, but it's nothing that should get you excited. It's nothing that is like, oh my God. I guarantee you, I'm going to say this, I can pretty much guarantee it. None of y'all remember Mac McClung's dunks from a few years back. He's a 3-time winner. Was 3 in a row? Y'all don't remember the first one. You don't remember the second one. You're going to forget about all these dunks probably by the time the NBA Finals rolls around. But you remember Vince. You remember Jordan's free throw line. You remember Desmond Mason's windmill. You remember Jason Richardson coming from behind the backboard, coming between his legs, reverse between his legs. You remember those? You remember Aaron Gordon? You remember Zach LaVine? Windmill from the free throw line. You're not going to remember Mac McClung. It's like the LeBron syndrome. Stop forcing it down our throats. Great. He won. He's a G Leaguer. Cool. Awesome. Shout out to McClung. 3-time winner. What does that do? Oh, well, it gets guys that say, oh, John Morant, we should compete. Giannis, oh, well, maybe so. They want to get the stars out. The stars don't even give a damn about playing in the NBA All-Star game. Do you think they want to go give a damn about dunking for fans? And that's the other part. I'm going on a little rant tonight. Thank God Gio and Derek probably aren't going to be here. I'm going on a little rant tonight. Eddie the First, who's honestly excited for the All-Star weekend anymore, period? I am not. I've never been excited about that. Remember the air up there from an N1 street ball from Houston that Duke, and yeah, some of those guys from Man One back in the day could dunk. Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon was the best. I agree with you. I agree, but don't overlook Desmond Mason versus Jason Richardson. Don't overlook that. That dunk contest was fire. Fire. Let me give you better dunkers from back in the day who won slam dunk titles. Harold Miner, Baby Jordan. Basic dunks. I think his best dunk was probably reverse between, like he just brought it down, the pump between the leg and up. Made it look so smooth, very powerful. He did a 360 tomahawk windmill, basically. Kenny Skywalker back in Houston when he was with the Knicks, he did the slam dunk contest. And that was a dunk contest between him, Clyde Drexler, Spud Webb was in that one. I mean, the power from him, Spud Webb in Dallas when he won. I mean, you've got great dunkers that never used props. Terrence Stansberry was the first guy I remember to jump over. I think he jumped over two guys. One guy was sitting on a chair. The other guy was leaning next to him. Terrence Stansberry, the Statue of Liberty dunk over a guy. More impressive than what Matt McClung done. Why? Because the Statue of Liberty dunk was a 360. 360 Statue of Liberty jumping over a guy. To me, that's more impressive. Sorry. There's a whole bunch of better times out there than what we've seen. How hard is it for the NBA to say, you know what, guys? Pure dunkers. We need pure dunkers. If we can't find them in the NBA, then let's go find them in social media. You freaking have TikTok all over the place. You see guys dunking left and right. I'd rather see TikTokers and these YouTubers in a dunk contest rather than some of the NBA guys. The NBA guys, the stars, they don't give a crap about fans when it comes to All-Star Weekend. It's a break. It's a break. Everybody bitches about why the NBA All-Star Game sucks because it's a break. They're not there to compete. They're there to have fun. That's why it's unwatchable. Completely unwatchable. And then you know it's unwatchable. And then you have guys like Draymond who still bitch about the All-Star Weekend. The league's trying to do something for you guys. The league is trying to make it interesting somehow. But yet, let's try this. And yet, we're going to have players still bitching and complaining about it. Leha, also Gordon over Zach, I'll die on that hill. I will give you that. Aaron Gordon deserved that. Eddie saying, thank you. Eddie, McClung is just a professor with hops. Yeah, I would say that's a very good comparison. Aaron Gordon put it under his butt. Rudy sat on it and put it opposite head. Exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's impressive. Using props at duck house, like using them in bed with your girl means you gave me. I love that. That's a huge win right there. That is how high he got But overall the weekend, Draymond of all people, I don't like what he says half the time. I don't agree with it. What does Draymond say about it? We're bitching about the dunk contest. We haven't even got in to All-Star Weekend itself on the actual game. Make it like the Olympics every 4 years. Not bad. I got a better idea, hopefully, to give you guys maybe shoot me some All-Star ideas. How do you fix the NBA All-Star game? But Draymond, what does Draymond got to say about this?
Work all year to be an all-star and you get to play up to 40 and then you're done. This is so unfair to Victor Wembanyama, who just took this game really seriously, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who just took this game really seriously. When you talk about chasing after the points records, Melo and Kobe and all these guys who've had great scoring nights, they don't get the opportunity to do that with this game. Also, we can watch some rising stars. We're about to watch the Olympic team. Now we get the treat of watching the Olympic team play against a U19 team. Come on, what are we doing?
Oh, man.
I had to work so hard to play on Sunday night of All-Star Weekend. And because ratings are down, because the game's bad, we're bringing in rising stars. That's not a fix. I never played in the Rising Stars game. My first 2 years, I didn't touch that game. And these guys get to touch the All-Star floor on Sunday night? Like when the floor is the floor? In America, the president has Air Force One, right?
Yeah.
They have several of those planes. It's only Air Force One if the president's on it. That's the All-Star floor. You have the court, you have the events. It's a nice looking court. When All-Stars are on the court, now it's the All-Star court. Those guys did not make the All-Star team. To be playing in the All-Star game and you did not make the All-Star team is absurd.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Shout out to Billy Madison for explaining and telling everybody how we really feel about what Draymond was saying there. 100% shout out to Billy Madison on that. As you can expect, as you can tell, it's Draymond being Draymond. I don't recognize Green unless he is standing next to Shrek. Love that. No lies detected. Which network will broadcast All-Star Game next year? Hopefully it is an overseas international network that we can't get the channel on any of our cable television providers or whatever is live streaming things. Draymond is a moist ass muff cake. Okay, I agree with you on that. And we got the laughing emojis, John G. Thank you very much, Mr. Lippy. Appreciate it, Mr. Lippy. Mr. Lippy out there for Billy Madison. Yeah, shout out to Billy Madison, man. Love that. Exactly. So the NBA goes out of its way to attempt, didn't perfect it, attempt to make All-Star Weekend better. Why? They already see the ratings going down. Just in regular season NBA games, the ratings are terrible. We see that. Well, we got to get the All-Star Weekend good. The ratings are even worse for All-Star Weekend. Hell, I was more interested in the Four Nation or whatever it was called for hockey. You had a fight between USA and Canada in the first 9 seconds. That's more action than we've seen in the entire sport of it, in the entire NBA all year. Definitely. I like the Rising Stars also because I love it. I'm actually getting to that right now. It's going the way of the Pro Bowl weekend. Pro Bowl went to flag football, but it's at the end of the year. So I'm okay with flag football. They changed it up. They try to make it a little bit more fun. It's okay. Football is never going to be what it should be on a Pro Bowl. I'll go with that. There's not much you want. You don't want to risk big time injuries at a Pro Bowl. You could end a player's career. So I totally get football is way more physical than the NBA. Way more. But like Leha said, the Rising Stars versus All Stars, past, present versus future. So I'm going to leave your comment up there because this is where I'm getting at. The NBA tried to attempt to fix or make it a tad bit more interesting. We don't want to see the 221 to 184 final score where, you know, the West or, you know, Team A is, you know, 75 of 174 from 3-point range. We don't want to. I'm getting tired of. We're tired of 3-point shots and attempts in regular season games. It's boring. That's why a lot of us don't watch it anymore. I mean, to be honest, I can tell you exactly what happens in an NBA game just by looking at the box score. I can go and give you the exact what happened. Oh, this player did this player did that. You know, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Without even watching a damn NBA game. Why? Because it's the same thing. It's, what is it? Eat, sleep, repeat, basically. But again, they try to change it. Adam Silver and the crew is like, you know what? Let's throw in the rising stars. 4 teams, make it a tournament. It basically got good. In the beginning, it was good. You saw defense being played. Nobody wanted to lose in that 4-game tournament. Now, in the actual championship game, it went back to being an all-star game. It went back to being, you know what, who gives a F? Let's just jack them up and, you know, whatever. It went that way. But really, how do you make high-priced babies give up a defense over a game that doesn't mean anything? Again, another reason why we're getting into this here. But like I said, the Rising Star All-Stars, you change the game a little bit. You try to make it more interesting. Then you come Draymond. Here comes Draymond crying about it. I don't want to see rising all-stars. I don't want to see that. You work so hard to be an all-star. You work so hard to be an all-star. Number one, I'd rather just be named an all-star. Because playing the game doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean anything. If I was good enough to be an all-star in today's NBA, I'd go get the brand new Jordans that I'm going to be rocking or something. And you know what? Why compete? I mean, I don't care. Eddie's saying it perfectly. I'm making, 50, 60 million. I'm not going to go out and compete. What the hell for? I'm not going to get risk injury. I'm not going to go play defense. I have to play defense 82 games, or unless I'm Joel Embiid, I got to go play defense, 40 games out of the year. I would just rather be named an all-star, and that's it. But you have Draymond shitting on the idea of the rising stars being a part of All-Star Sunday night. In the famous words of Herm Edwards, hello? These rising all-stars are the future NBA all-stars. You are shitting on your players, your brotherhood, your family. You're saying you don't belong on All-Star Sunday night. Are you pissed off because you didn't make it? What's the issue? The Rising Star game probably had more eyes on it, more interest than any event all weekend. You know what's sad? The NBA fan zone, where fans can go and participate in a dunk contest or 3-point contest. You get the measurements of the ball, my palm on this ball, and you get the experience. The NBA fan experience attracts more attention than anything in the All-Star weekend that they play, with the exception of the Rising Stars. I think the Rising Stars game probably had more eyes on it than anything else. Why? Because fans want to see the future of the game. We're tired of, LeBron and the Walker out there, which he didn't even play. That's another thing. Hour or two before the game, I'm not going to play. How are you going to... Norman Powell, who is never an all-star, ever, he's having a hell of a year. was left off the All-Star squad. Him, Domantas Sabonis, one of the best big men in the league. If you don't agree with me, challenge me. One of the best big men in the league. Lost out on an opportunity. You knew you weren't going to play. Is that another reason why we don't like LeBron? I respect LeBron. I respect his game. He's one of the best players to play the game. He's not the GOAT. He's not my GOAT. Never will be my GOAT. I've got a bunch more players that I would put him over. But you were really taking, that's another thing. All-Star Weekend this year, it's probably the worst that we've seen in a long time because of all the shit that goes on. Giannis said, I can't play. So they brought in Trae Young. LeBron says, I can't play. Oh, well, it's kind of late to get somebody here to play now. Appreciate that. If you don't want to be an all-star, if you don't want to play in the all-star game, just say you don't want to play. Just say you don't want to be a part of it. That's the same thing that Pro Bowlers do. In the NFL, hey, I'm a Pro Bowler. Awesome. I'm not going to participate. Okay, no problem. That doesn't mean you're not a Pro Bowler. If LeBron says, hey, I got voted in by the fans, which should never happen. You should never vote LeBron James into the All-Star game. I don't give a damn if it's a farewell tour or what. He should never be voted in anymore. But you're talking like this. You're an all-star, LeBron. Oh, sweet. Awesome. Great. Thank you. I'm not going to play, but I appreciate the vote. Does that mean I'm not an all-star? No, you made the all-star team. At the end of the season, your Wikipedia page is going to say NBA All-Star 2025. It's going to say it. You're good. Don't take that away from somebody else. Draymond, don't bitch about something you're not a part of. These guys got experience. You think the guys like Bobby Hurley, Chris Webber, a lot of these guys, do you think when they practiced against the original Dream Team, do you think they deserved it? They didn't deserve to be there. They're not supposed to be playing with legends and Hall of Famers. They're just a bunch of college guys. Bullshit. They're getting experience. They're getting the experience that they need. Rising All-Stars against the All-Stars of the NBA. Brilliant move. Brilliant move. I like it. I like that part about the NBA All-Star Weekend. I'm a fan of the Rising Stars game. You guys coming in, I like it. Having them a part of All-Star Sunday against the All-Stars, I like it. I like that. Playing to 40, I don't know about that. That's a little bit different, but I like it. I enjoyed that part. So don't bitch about stuff. They're trying to, and well, the ratings are down. The ratings are down because the current crop of NBA All-Stars, a good amount of them, you are playing in the worst era of NBA basketball when it comes to ratings. How are you going to point the finger at other people when you are literally on the court? You're playing the damn game. If nobody wants to watch the game, look in the mirror. That's why nobody wants to watch the game. Everybody wanted to watch the 90s, the 80s, the early 2000s. The new crop of players came in. It's okay. It's all right. I get messages from ESPN. Oh my God, so-and-so with a dunk of the year candidate. I look at it like, okay. Anthony Edwards dunked on Rudy Gobert. Impossible because they're teammates, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, okay, I've seen that before. I saw Jordan dunk on two guys. Okay, cool. You're trying to oversell a game that nobody likes. Now you've got players shitting on players who are getting opportunities to compete against the All-Stars because technically they're not All-Stars. They shouldn't compete. Why not? Why not? Oscar Robertson in here on his comments on what he feels about Draymond.
Well, Draymond said so much. Who cares what Draymond says? He doesn't mean anything. People. This is what I mean. One guy can say this, and one guy can say that. The game is what it is. People either like the game or they don't, and I think people enjoy the game. It might be boring to him because if he's not passing the ball to Curry, what is he doing?
I agree. Triple single is
not to single that out because I think he knows how to play basketball, but he's passed his ball to Curry more than anyone I've ever seen in basketball. And so it means a lot. So, it might be boring to him at times because of what he's doing. Maybe it is boring when he's out there. He's not shooting a lot. He's not guarding a lot. So it's boring.
Yeah, so it's boring for Draymond because Oscar, the Big O's right, man. Draymond passes the ball to Steph. I mean, think about it. Without Steph, Draymond's not winning. And yeah, I mean, I can get players that come in and talk, probably piss off people by saying it. You know what? I'm 5'8". I was good at basketball at one time, but I was never great at basketball. I wasn't going to be anything more than a high school basketball player. Big deal. I've never competed at the NBA. I don't have a right to talk about the NBA players or how they play. Beg to differ. I've got a former NBA player that respects the ever-living shit out of me because I keep it real with him and he keeps it real with me. Doesn't mean I have, I'm able to shit on players or anything. No, I don't. But you shouldn't be shitting on your own players. Don't shit on your league. If you're going to try to help this league grow, if you're going to try to build you all have platforms. You all have podcasts. If you're going to try to help the league grow, get more eyes on it, do your part. Do your part. You want us to like your league. You want us to support your league. You want us to watch your league. Well, don't shit on your league. Especially when it's trying to make more eyes. When you want more eyes on your product, you don't shit on it. You promote it. On the way back, we'll talk more NBA All-Star, a little bit more. Also talking about Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia was on today's show. Kevin Durant rumors. I'll go into that a little bit. I don't really buy them too much. I'll let you know why. Also, Ja Morant on the trade block. We'll get into that. It's not so much the Luka deal as it is the NBA viewers / the NBA owners. What does that mean? When we get back, we'll hit it off again here on Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr. Shout out to Derek Gervin, Gio. We should be back hopefully later on this week, but you just got me tonight. Second half of the show coming up here in just a minute.
Time to react, yeah, shift like a skate. Left, right, lean, that's a bucket in sight. Pull up mid, let it fly, no hype. Fourth quarter ice, keep the rock in my grip. When the clock go red, don't slip, I rip. Fast as alive, yeah, the motor don't quit. Drop 30 quick, now they begging for a switch. Fox in the open, the lane look free, now I loud that up. Win B. And running no team, keep pace. Fox got gears, Wemby got grace. Hoop too high, man, you won't touch. New Spurs every year, time to rush. Speed too real, yeah, check that tight. Defenders froze, now they stuck in place. Who gon' step, man, don't play dumb. Fast break dumb.
Are you looking for a contracting company that gets the job done right the first time? Look no further than MCS General Contracting. MCS specializes in top quality concrete work, including patios, driveways, foundations, and swimming pools. The team of experts are dedicated to delivering exceptional results and unparalleled customer satisfaction. At MCS General Contracting, they're not just hardworking, they're local. Based in San Antonio, they are committed to building relationships and trust within the community. That's why MCS guarantees your satisfaction. They pride themselves on getting the job done right the first time, every time. So why wait? Contract MCS General Contracting today to schedule your project and experience the difference for yourself. MCS General Contracting, building a better San Antonio, one project at a time. Proud sponsors of Sweep the League.
You are watching Sweep the League TV. Make sure you subscribe and catch our new videos.
Sweep the League TV with Rudy, Derek, and Coach Kia. Let's get back to the live show. You are watching the best in the business.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Sweep the League. I thought I saw Eddie in there saying it's the poop break. Yeah, this is y'all's chance to go and drop that deuce, whether you want to call it a Draymond or what, I don't know. Just drop it, whatever. We are back here on Sweep the League. This is the Tuesday Night Delight edition. Coach Joe, Derek Irvin should be back later on this week. Got a bunch of you comments coming in. We're going to talk a little bit more about the NBA All-Star break. Then we're going to move over to Locked On Spurs show today, which was myself and Jeff Garcia talking about Kevin Durant rumors and also the Ja Morant rumor. Kind of keeping an eye out over the summer. Does it really happen? We'll see if it does. I don't know if it really will, but there's a reason behind it. Kind of goes into the Luka thing as well. So definitely we'll get into that right now. Let me get to some of your comments right here. Rudy, how do you make high price babies give a crap defensively or game that doesn't mean anything? Exactly. Just collect that all-star bonus money and do away with the weekend. I'm going to get into the reason why we need to maybe do something else on the weekend part. That Rising versus All-Stars was promotion of the documentary We Beat the Dream Team, which was okay. We have Leha in here. La Fraud, definitely. I said before, Bron, KD, and Curry shouldn't be in the All-Star game. Out of those three guys, KD deserves it. The other two do not deserve it. Yeah, just the title is enough. I think being called an All-Star, yeah, that is true. Just be called it. All these fools sounded acting like old men sitting in the locker room on the front porch. No one wants to watch 100 threes a game get jacked up. Makes for terrible TV. I'm going to shit on players because, well, F them. That's why you do, man. I appreciate you. And, shout out to you, Leha. You keep it real 100% of the time. That's what makes you so great, man. In your opinion, will Draymond Green ever be a Hall of Famer? If he's a Hall of Famer, then you need to put Robert Horry in the Hall of Fame. Draymond's not a Hall of Famer. Definitely is not a Hall of Famer. There's so many more guys that deserve to be Hall of Fame bound before Draymond, like so many guys out there. Again, if not for Steph Curry, you wouldn't really know about Draymond Green at all. So I'm just going to keep that real. And you got Stephen A. Smith saying an American player has to be the face of the NBA. I saw that. You know what? I'll get into that here in a second too. There it is, the poop break. Rudy, Kansas is getting blown out by BYU. I've got more college basketball talk coming up, Tim. Give me the old deuce delay. Exactly, the old deuce delay. Getting back to the NBA talk here. I will get to Leah's comment in a minute because of the whole international thing by Stephen A. Smith. All-Star Weekend. The best part you can do, and before I get in, shout out to Fight Inside Podcast. He's doing a great job. Another great interview. Also, Grading the Market's going to have some more shows coming out as well. Sweep Unplugged. It should be released tomorrow. We have another interview coming out with a boxing promoter, Boxing Network, coming up tomorrow. So got a lot more stuff coming. The best thing is go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate everybody that subscribes already. Our TikTok page at Sweep the League Radio, I believe is what it is. It's blowing up right now. We don't have a whole lot of subscribers. So if you guys are on TikTok, search Sweep the League on there. Be a follower on Sweep the League. We've got all of our NFL mock drafts going up there right now. So you want to get on those, be sure to go to our TikTok page. We got a whole lot of places you can go to follow us here. But back on the NBA. Mentions of the international versus, U.S. versus the world, basically. Good idea. I like that. Can you make it? What do you do for that? If you've got 12 players on the international side, 12 players on the NBA side or the All-American side, how do you make it more competitive? I mean, you can do that. You can possibly throw $1 million bonus for each player that you can do something like that. maybe, $1 million take all. Like every player gets $1 million on the winning team, losing team gets nothing, just their all-star bonus that they get per their contract or whatever. You can make that more competitive. I've even heard styles of, you do East versus West, go back to the old days, but you have to compete because you get, just like baseball, you get the home court advantage in the finals. So you can make things happen to make it more competitive. Another thing I think about is where I think Eddie's the one that said just get rid of All-Star Weekend altogether. The NBA implemented a few years back, I believe it was the in-season tournament. To me, that should be the All-Star game right there. That should be the All-Star Weekend. College basketball gets in, the entire March Madness in a few weeks. What's to say that you can't get a whole freaking tournament in a week span, and that's your break? Or if you've got 8 teams that are competing for that whatever cup it is, I don't even know the name of the cup, why not just do that? I mean, that's something that I look at more as I'd rather see the in season tournament take over All-Star Weekend rather than the All-Star game. If players aren't going to give a crap about it, then make it happen. Make it, I don't know. I mean, I say that's probably the best thing you can do. Just do that. I would do that right there. Make it the in-season tournament. That's the W, I think, right there for the All-Star Weekend. Just get rid of All-Star Weekend altogether. Give the guys a break off, or just, like I said, just get rid of it. I mean, you want to take a weekend off, take a weekend off. You want to do, USA versus the world, whatever. To me, that right there is 100%. I want to say that's 100% better than what we're getting right now, product wise. So that's my solution to that right now. Moose versus Obafemi Rudy. Who do you got? TNA X division? Is that correct? Yeah, TNA. I'm gonna go with Moose. Why not? Go with Moose on that one. Appreciate Eddie on there. Again, it's STL 316 Wrestling Podcast. Still got episodes coming out here, so don't be worried. You just go to YouTube, search Sweep the League TV, hit subscribe so you're not missing STL 316. Real quick, Leha did mention about Stephen A. Smith. All right, brother, man. You're saying that an international player cannot be the face of the NBA. I call bullshit. When your top 3 MVP candidates, to be honest, for the past few years, even I have to throw Joel Embiid in there because even though he's not playing this year, I've played more NBA minutes than he has. You're talking this year is Shea, Jokic, Giannis in the top 3. Past few years, it's been what? Shea, Luka, Jokic, Giannis, Jokic, Embiid. What makes you think the NBA cannot be led by an international player as the face of the league? What is the reason behind saying no international player can be the face of the league? Again, why? The face of the league is the player who's the most dominant at the time. Comes up because there's a guy that plays in San Antonio. If you haven't heard about him, he's pretty tall. He's pretty good. He's not David Robinson good yet, but he's pretty damn good. He's going to be the next face of the league. You can't deny that. Players are saying it. League associates are saying it. Media probably doesn't want to buy it. They want to keep LeBron and Steph and these guys at the top as long as they can. The face of the league has not been an American player for quite some time. At least 4 years minimum. Jokic, multiple time MVP. Giannis, Embiid, Luka. I mean, Tatum is probably your best American-born player, and he's like top 5. This year he's top 4, but he's top 5 year in and year out. That's the face of the league. If you want to get into big time detail, I mean, Jerry West is the logo. So then that, I mean, you really can't even change that. To be honest, I mean, I wouldn't change the NBA logo. That's Jerry West. But when you're talking about the face of the league, it changes every time. It changes, it could change year to year. Why is Stephen A. Smith so upset about who's the face of the league? Who cares? Again, you have to bitch about something that shouldn't have to be bitched about. Shouldn't have players playing All-Star games. Shouldn't have this. Shouldn't do this. Shouldn't do that. Well, ratings are down. But we shouldn't do that. But you shouldn't have this guy do this. You shouldn't have these players playing. Ratings are down. Well, you shouldn't have an international player as being the face of the league. Ratings are down. Do you not see what's going on, people? You wonder why this is down, but the same people that question it are the same ones that shit on it. Make it make sense. That's what the kids say. Make it make sense. So yeah, Leah, an international player is going to be the face of the league, whether Stephen A. Smith likes it or not. It's already happening. He doesn't want to accept it. Oh, well, it's happening. It's been happening. It's going to happen. You have Cooper Flagg coming out this year. You have, which actually Cooper Flagg said he may stay another year at Duke. Wow, that would piss off a lot of people, because then you have him and AJ DeBayenza next year as the number 1 pick potentially. So then Utah will probably get both picks, knowing them the way Danny Ainge is working. But I mean, you're going to have younger NBA guys, but you still got international guys. Hugo Gonzalez is going to be coming out, I think, this year. You got other international players coming out. Are they face of the league type? No, I mean, definitely not. But you still have Giannis. SGA is just getting started. Luka, if he works out in LA, he's in a bigger market now, obviously. So more eyes are on Luka. Jokic isn't stopping anytime soon. If Embiid can play more than 25 minutes a year, then, I mean, the potential for them being another face of the league is right there too. I mean, there's you have to accept the fact the face of the NBA doesn't have to be an American-born player. The NBA, invented by a Canadian-American, Dr. James Naismith, but invented in Massachusetts. Springfield, America. So you had an international guy invent the game. Why can't you have an international face of the league? Dr. James Naismith was Canadian. Sorry, Steven. You got to make it make sense, man. I think Cooper will be turning pro next year. That's what I was saying. He might be pro next year. He may not come out this year, but nonetheless, let me get into this Locked On Spurs, because the time flies when you're having so much fun. Appreciate everybody for joining us here tonight on Sweep the League. I was on today's show of Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia, talking about Kevin Durant. Now, for those that don't know, that haven't heard, definitely want to go take a look at Locked On Spurs. Go listen to it after we're done here. Cue it up, let it play, let it play in the background while you're getting ready for bed. Have a lot of laughs on here, have a lot of great times. But Kevin Durant being rumored, there's 4 teams. It was the Miami Heat, the Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs, and I believe it was the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see him going to LA. I mean, I don't really see it happening too much. I don't think he wants to be on the LA market right now. I don't see him going to Miami either, even though Miami is in the Eastern Conference. But again, KD is what, 36, 37. He's at the end of his career, basically. He wants to go out and win. Now, I'm not saying that joining the San Antonio Spurs is guaranteed to be a winner. I mean, it does move the needle for them. Doesn't move it to championship, but it moves the needle to playoffs, minimum play in, but definitely pretty much guaranteed a playoff team. Doesn't make them contenders right away. Going to Houston, I don't see that happening, only because if he goes to Houston, you're going to have to gut. You're going to probably have to give up Amin Thompson. Don't want to do that. Probably have to give up Green. Don't want to do that. Doesn't feel right. Houston doesn't need to make that big of a move right now. They don't need a true superstar right this second. I don't think they would do it in the offseason, breaking up the team that is doing good now. You're going to be what, Kevin Durant and Sengun. Is that enough to make it competitive? Not really. So, the Spurs make all the sense in the world. They have the cap room. They're going to be one of the teams that has a whole lot of cap room. They've got the players to trade a la Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell to make the money work. Because I think KD's owed, 54? Kevin and Devin are right around that combined. They've got the money. They've got the draft picks. Everybody talks about draft picks, but you're going to gut a lot of the team, whether it be, like said, Keldon, Devin, probably a couple other guys. Then they're going to want the draft picks for him. You're talking potentially a Rudy Gobert type of thing. Now, again, Luka was gotten for nothing. Don't buy the Luka hype on that. It was, an all NBA guy for an all NBA guy. In the end of, in the scheme of things, Davis for Luka, plus they ended up getting Max Christie. Let's just put it this way. For Durant, you're going to get a whole lot in return. But Leha, if you're listening, I'm sorry, man. I apologize for this. I know you're probably going to get mad at this, but I apologize for this right here. The thing with the KD thing is this. You are going to have to use some of those draft picks. You're going to have to use them because you're giving up players on the team. Now, keep in mind, these players aren't. You see what you have already in Fox. You see what you have in Wembanyama coming off the All-Star break. We got a taste of it before. I think they were 2-3 in the 5 games that De'Aaron played. Obviously below 500. They've got a pretty difficult schedule coming up for the second half of the season. Can they turn it around? I don't know. But we've already seen what you're getting out of Keldon. You're seeing what you're getting out of Devin. You've already seen kind of sort of what you're getting out of Jeremy Sohan. But outside of that, Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham, Bassie. These guys are going to be your bench guys. Keep in mind, if the Spurs get Kevin Durant, you're going to have a max deal in Durant. And trust me, if he comes to San Antonio, he's not expecting to get, crumbs. He's going to want to sign, if he signs an extension, it's going to be for some good money. You've already promised De'Aaron Fox a max deal. Wemby's going on year 3. Team option year 4. You got his max deal coming up. You've got Stephon Castle's max deal coming up. Lehi is so bent on getting rid of the picks, and you get rid of them because you don't need them. Unless you make a deal like this, you have to keep some of those. Why? You've got to fill your roster out. You've got to get some players in who aren't going to make that big coin. You don't have Mike Millers out there. You don't have Ray Allens out there. Difference makers that are going to take a team friendly, not even a team friendly deal, but a under the table, I promise you we're going to compete deal. That's the reason why I say you got to kind of keep some of those. and you got to use them because the money, it's all about money, Leha, and it's not even scared money. I see what you said. It's not about scared money. I so promise you. I promise you it's not. You spend the money, but you've got to get players that aren't going to cost you a whole lot. What doesn't cost you a whole lot? Low first round draft picks, second rounders. You're going to get a couple of vets in there. Chris Paul doesn't want to stick around, bro. He's not going to stick around. He's done after this year. If he doesn't get bought out by the end of the year, he's done. He's not going to stick around. He doesn't want to be the third guy off the bench or the first guy off the bench. Kevin Durant to San Antonio makes no sense for me. You've got to gut a team that's, and this is the whole part, you're going to gut a team that's already bad for one player. I can't buy that. One player that you're giving your starting five. Let's go into the hypothetical world. De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Kevin Durant, Harrison Barnes, Victor Wembanyama. Off the bench, Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, Mamu, probably Sohan. I mean, then you're talking about who else? Massey. You see what I'm saying? Even though some of these players aren't working out for San Antonio, it keeps them somewhat competitive rather than giving up players and picks for one guy. Got to look at it like that. So that's why some of these picks you got to hopefully keep on to. Cooper playing, go play with the Jazz. I'm sick of tanking. Yeah, I do get that. I don't like the tanking either. Durant comes to Spurs, takes a pay cut. This is what my sauces are saying. Well, apparently sauces are also saying that Luka Doncic was traded to the Lakers because he was an alcoholic. I heard somebody say that, or they told me that, and I really can tell you this. That's more than likely definitely not true at all. I can pretty much guarantee that. But yeah, we've all got sauces somewhere. But Durant to San Antonio, it's hard, man. It's too much. It's too much. Oh, you heard it too? So yeah, it came across my feed. Somebody was telling me about that, and actually it came across a DM. I was like, okay, I cool. If Luka's drunk, maybe him and I can, go grab a beer sometime on Luka. Obviously, he makes more than me. But the Durant to San Antonio rumors, I'd say kind of hold off on that. Kind of go, let me give you the teams that I think. If he's going to go out west, if he's going to stay west, you've got a team who I think is in contention for him. That kind of, it doesn't make sense, but if they're going to have money to spend and they're going to have picks to use, and that's Oklahoma City. Durant going back to Oklahoma City, obviously a contender. It's like when he joined the Warriors, it's going to just make them that much better. But again, Oklahoma City would have to give up a whole lot for him. So I think he goes out east. Durant goes east and basically doesn't have to fight the Western Conference gauntlet. Two teams to watch out for. I'm going to give you three teams. One of them is the Washington Wizards. Why? Durant's from Washington, D.C., playing in front of the family for an entire year or two. I get it. Washington sucks. But something about a player playing in front of, his family and all that stuff, hey, man, buku. Definitely not going to happen. But let's throw it out there because of family's sake. Nonetheless, Kevin Durant, and this was on the Locked On Spurs podcast too, so you can guys go check it out. Go check it out. Kevin Durant, I have two options for him. He goes out east. Boston can make a move for Kevin Durant. You move Jaylen Brown to Phoenix. In return, they send Kevin Durant. You may have to give up Drew Holiday as part of that deal. I'm okay with that, with Derek White there. Then you're looking at Derek White, Durant, Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford. Plus, you got you got to put a lot of guys on the bench as well that are true role players. Durant to Boston is one. Another scenario: Durant to the Knicks. That's another scenario. Giving up OG Anunoby, probably Josh Hart, some draft picks, another player in there. Then you're looking at Brunson, Durant, Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges. Those are the two teams that I have circled right now for Kevin Durant next year. He's going to get traded. Phoenix gave him everything during that whole trade deadline spectacle. Two teams in the East. Boston, then the Knicks. Both have the perfect players to trade in return. Both can make it happen. If Oklahoma City is that team in the West, you're looking up at giving up Cason Wallace. Hardenstein as another guy that could go to Phoenix. You can give up a ton of draft picks. And you know what? Sam Presti, who is Leja's favorite general manager, because Sam Presti has adopted the Chris Leja mentality, and it's F them picks. I'm going to go get me a player with these picks. But Oklahoma City could make that happen. They really can make it happen. For sure. There's no doubt about that. Those are the three teams that I got for you on the Kevin Durant deal. Before we go, John Moran here. Let me get some of you guys' comments here. Let's see. We've got Leja back in here. I'm going to say this. If the team ain't winning 40 plus next year, I'm done. I'm out. I'm just stick to watching football. I'm assuming that's soccer. Unless it's American football. But then football is soccer. So I'll say this, Leja. I've been telling you guys for years, the year 25-26 is the year the Spurs turned it around. We've been saying it since last summer that De'Aaron Fox would be a Spur. It didn't happen this summer. It happened a little bit before, obviously, trade deadline. That was the first move. Second move was getting another all-star caliber player, which is more than likely going to happen this offseason. They'll probably make a trade. You're going to see them probably make a couple of moves with their draft picks. So 2025 offseason is what you circled last year, is what I told you. Keep it circled. It's going to happen. Really feel good things about the San Antonio Spurs front office here. May even see a coaching change. We'll see what happens here. But next year, if that's your last year, man, I'm saying it's going to be 40 wins. I'll probably go on the record as saying 40 wins, depending on what they do. On what they do in the offseason, I could definitely see 40 wins. Eric Jacob, he is going east, way easier. Yeah, that's why Durant goes east. Glad the conferences aren't north and south, because you would have been saying Durant goes south. I don't want to go there. At the end, they all want to go home. Eric Jacob acquires a bum. And yeah, well, you're probably going to get a red card since you like football so much. Football, that's probably going to give you a red card on that. But John Morant, before we go, man. So everybody's talking about John Morant potentially being traded in the offseason. And people are saying, hey, it's the Luka deal. It's, Luka prove anybody can trade it. I mean, everybody sees that. Oh, by the way, I don't see the Durant to Oklahoma City move happening. I believe Oklahoma City has one person circled, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo. They've got the pieces to make it work. Lopez is definitely aging up there in Milwaukee. So again, Hardenstein going up there, Cason Wallace going up there to be the point guard right next to Dame Lillard. That's where I'm seeing Giannis maybe having the opportunity to go to Oklahoma City, mark it down. An hour and 14 minutes into the show here today. Be sure to lock this in. Be sure to play that. I think Giannis is a Thunder pretty soon, but that's just my take on here. I don't know anything about basketball. I'm not on any big 4-letter network or anything, so I have no sauces or anything either. So, but if you want, just bookmark this tab right now. But John Morant, here it is. So we got Tim in here. He's saying, what is Tim saying? How about Durant going to the Pistons? And good possibility. I mean, that's another team. I don't think it's definitely out of the realm of possibility. It could happen. I just think I think Boston and the Knicks would probably make better offers when it comes to Kevin Durant, John Morant, Spurs fans around the world. Exactly. Like it could be John Morant, it could be Frank Burkowski. It doesn't matter. Every time a person gets cut or is rumored to be moved, every Spurs fan on Spurs Twitter is already figuring out a way how that player works on the San Antonio Spurs team. It's just effing unbelievable. Drives me crazy. I hate it all the time that I see it. No matter who it is, everybody on the Spurs Twitter thinks, well, this guy should be a perfect Spur. He'd be an awesome Spur. So we should go get him left and right. Chris, time is 10 p.m. You got a yellow card, Chris. I'll work your way to that red card. You want to get that red card in. Anyway, we got to go here. John Morant. This is the thing, guys. The Luka trade set the standard. You can be all NBA. You can be a future Hall of Famer. You can still be moved. It happens. But keep in mind, because of what we talked about earlier, ratings down, when the ratings are down, you have money tends to just not be there anymore. Ticket sales are probably down in majority of the arenas. And then even at that, ticket prices go up, which means fans can't afford it. So you don't have more fans in the arenas. You have less businesses supporting teams, buying the suites and this and that. So the John Morant move could be a lot of things. I think it's more ownership. And it's more of a fact that, okay, we are going to have to keep paying Ja. Yes, Ja has a history. Ja has a past. He really does. But if you're not making money or struggling to make money, do you pay a player? I think money has something to do with it. It's the business aspect of the game. But also, management, front office time. Does John Morant bring an NBA title to Memphis? These are the hard questions. Remember, there can only be only one champion. Victor Wembanyama can go his entire year. Best player in the league, face of the franchise, face of the league. Playoff appearances for 18 straight years. He can go that entire career, break the LeBron scoring record, just have 5 quadruple doubles. Doesn't mean he's going to bring a title to San Antonio. These days, it's not like back in the day. Loyalty is a thing to an extent. To make money, you got to win. You got to win. Memphis is winning. But ownership, they might look at the fact of, well, can Ja really bring an NBA title to Memphis? Or can we go get a couple of players, 3 players? In other words, can we turn one all-star into one all-star, a potential all-star, and a future all-star? Ask yourself, guys, what's better? One all-star or what I just said? A current all-star, potential all-star, and a future all-star. You always want to try to get the best team assembled. If one player turns into 3 good ones, like 3 good ones, like 2 great ones and a good one, the chances of you winning go up a whole lot. One player cannot win a title. Jordan didn't win by himself. If there's one player out there, I'll be honest, Rick Barry with Golden State probably was the only guy that I could ever think of that won an NBA title for that team. People can say LeBron took Cleveland, yada, yada, yada. Well, Kyrie was a part of that. Not one player can win an NBA title. If you can't attract more good players to Memphis Desmond Bain, not going to get it done. Jaren Jackson Jr., great defender, not going to get it done. He's an all-star, but it's not going to get it done. Zach Edey's up and coming, but it's not going to get it done. The John Morant talk, the Luka Doncic talk, our trade, all this, Spurs fans, I'm going to say that, and you know what, Eric, you brought up a good point. I'll give you that. He had the greatest finals run. He had the greatest playoff run. Dirk's another one. I'll give you credit. I forgot about Dirk. Maybe even Kawhi Leonard with Toronto. I'll do that. Maybe even Kawhi Leonard. But on the Kawhi aspect of things is, had Kevin Durant not gotten injured, tore his Achilles, then Toronto doesn't win that series. But that's a whole what if thing. That's a whole what if thing. I don't think Toronto wins that series if KD doesn't tear his Achilles there. But nonetheless, going back to this, the NBA world, guys, I get it. You don't want to lose. You hate losing. You hate tanking. You hate this. You hate that. The moment the Spurs on a 5-game losing streak, it's trade everybody except Wemby and Castle. The Spurs are on the right path. They've got to check a lot of these boxes off. They got a franchise guy, Wembanyama. They've got a running mate, who's not even Robin to Batman. This is like Nightwing to Batman. Both superheroes in Castle and Wembanyama. They had to go out and get another all-star. Remember, what did I just say? One player, one good player. Victor Wembanyama. Now, you didn't have to trade him, but one player doesn't get it done. You have one all-star, Victor. You have a potential all-star, De'Aaron Fox. And you have a future all-star, Stephon Castle. That's the winning potion right there. It's the way. That's the way it is. It doesn't surprise me if they shop John Morant, because Memphis knows, and again, it could be because of what he does off the court. I don't care. But Memphis knows what a lot of team GMs do know. One player rarely, very rarely, will bring an NBA title to your franchise. You can't pay one guy in hopes that he's going to bring an NBA title home. It could happen, but it's so rare. So Spurs fans, enjoy the rest of the season, the second half, and just think about what I said. You're on the right path. No matter what happens this season. They're at 23 wins. I had them at 30 wins. They go and trade for Fox. I'm like, okay, 35 wins. But I pegged them at 30. I had them at a high point of 35. I haven't changed my stance. I'm keeping my stance there. But nonetheless, the path is they're already on the right path. No matter what happens the rest of the year, they are on the right path. You have your all-star, you have your potential all-star, and you have your future all-star. Like MCS General Contracting, what we've always told you guys, you lay the foundation first. You cannot build a house without laying the foundation first. Instead of crying and instead of bitching about what the Spurs are not doing, look at what they have done. The foundation is laid. Now they just got to put the walls up. That's the summer of 2025. Walls are going to go up in the summer of 2025. Rudy Campos Jr. for Sweep the League. This was the Tuesday night delight edition of Sweep the League. Be sure to go to our YouTube page, search Sweep the League TV, hit that subscribe button. Also, go to our TikTok page. It's at Sweep the League Radio. If I'm not mistaken, it's Sweep the League Radio. hit that follow button. We're going to be dropping a whole lot more on our TikTok page. We're trying to get at least to 100 followers on that for a message, but hell, overnight we could get to 1,000. It would be all because of you guys out there. Appreciate all the support that you guys give us. We'll be back tomorrow night with the Wednesday night edition of Sweep the League, the Wacky Wednesday edition. We'll see if any of the guys are going to be joining us tomorrow night. Nonetheless, you guys have a great night. We will see you guys tomorrow, and be sure to go out and support MCS General Contracting. Before I go, one last thing about Chris Leha. We have a lot of great stuff about Leha. He's a great friend of mine, but shout out to MCS. Shout out to Mudslingers as well. There's a lot of businesses out there that always give back to everybody. We at Sweep the League give back to people, and we give to people. We just don't broadcast it. We don't do anything like that. Same for these guys. They do a lot of things behind the scenes. So because of what they do, MCS, Mudslingers, and a lot of these other companies, support them. Support them. Support local. Do whatever you can, because you don't see a lot of things that they do behind the scenes. Because of it, makes them the absolute best guys in the business. They are the best in the business. These companies, they do a whole lot for people. I've seen it with my own eyes. And like I mentioned here, we do the same for people out there as well. Support everybody out there. Would make everything great, would make everything appreciative. So shout out to the businesses that go above and beyond for those that need it. You guys are the real winners out there. Sweep the League, be back tomorrow. Again, YouTube, search Sweep the League TV. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Grading the Market, STL 316, or the big show, Sweep the League TV. Also, shout out to Fight Inside Podcast, Best Boys Podcast, Refocus Radio, Sweep Unplugged, just a whole lot of other stuff going on. STL Music, we're dropping a lot of music here left and right. So for Derek Garvin, for Coach Gio, for the entire Sweep the League crew, it's Rudy accomplishing here. Until we sweep the league again, we'll see you later, Knuckleheads.
Vision on the court, watch my plays take action. Fast break, hustle, yeah, I'm built to compete. Defense locked in, I'm the soul of the street. Court vision crazy, I'm balling in the zone. Step back, jumper, yeah, I'm cold like stone. 2025 moves my game, got finesse. Leave it all on the floor, you know I'm the best. Man, he ain't done yet. This guy is from out of this world. He's gotta be an alien. What is going on? Oh my goodness, this guy is really gonna be special. Ain't nothing to it. When we still lit. When we still lit. When we still lit. Lit. We got dreams, hit the fast lane. Took the stairs, real pain, no fear. We steady making it clear. I'm the captain, nice to meet you, but I make chess moves, no snooze. Bless you, we turning the impossible to possible. Doing what we do, call me Wemby alien. Flow too quick, you can't see me, just saying. The only thing that is your season, come see me, trust